All right, I'm excited to do this. So it's a little bit blurry since I screen grabbed it from the Zoom call, so it's not the best quality. So if you are able to send me another video, like just recorded with your phone, that'll definitely be a little clearer, but I will do my best here. So, first of all, you're just so adorable. Ooh, I wonder if I can turn the sound off. I don't know if I can. I think if I just do it manually. All right. So let's skip to when you start here. Okay. So let's see here. All right. So your stance looks great. Again, it's blurry, so there's a few things I can't really hone in on. My first thought is that I'm thinking that there's a little bit of collapse going on right here, but we're gonna see as the video progresses if that continues. So first thing is your squat, and so you have really good range of motion. But one thing I noticed is if you look at your heels, they kind of have to go in like that. And let's look at it from a different angle. So I don't know if you can see how your heels have to go in. Right there. See how your heel lifts up and has to go in. And then from the back, it's going to be a little easier to see. Maybe if we aren't so zoomed. All right, so notice how your right foot is sticking out more. And see how you can see this arch here, the outside of your arch that is showing me that the inside is actually collapsing, and I can't even see your ankle bone over here to see what's going on, but I'm pretty sure it's collapsing. So there's your ankle bone there. When I zoom in, when you see how your ankle bone kind of goes over that line even from where you start. When you squat down, it even passes that line going in. So that's just showing me that there's definitely some collapsing going on with your ankles. Let's see here. And again, it's lifting up on the outside. So that means all the pressure is funneling inward. And yeah, you can see your heel kind of tweak in a little bit. The other thing I'm going to show you here, which is really interesting, if I draw a circle here on your knee, and here's your hip, what I'm looking for is to see if this is a hip dominant thrust or a knee dominant thrust. So I'm going to draw a line where your knee is starting. So here's your knee. And let's see where your hip or where your knee starts to protrude over that line. Actually, let's start, let's actually start it right when you start that. Okay. So it's like right here, okay? So notice where your hip is ending here. So as you go back, now your knee is going over that line right here. So it starts going back right about here. And that is showing me that this is a a knee dominant thrust, squat, sorry. And ideally, we want to see this going up and down and then back here. So you're going like back like this. Oh, sorry, oops. Trying to learn how to use this thing. Back more, and then your knees go over. So once you've come down, your knees are gonna obviously go forward a little bit, but we want to see that happen way sooner. Because the reason is there's something going on, like the back is not trusting like your nervous system, and even the glutes might not be strong enough, or they don't trust your body enough to go back farther. So in order to get down, you have to make adjustments with your hips. So that's why the feet are wide and going out to make that room to go down. So you have the range of motion of going down, but it's only because you're making space here instead of all in your glutes. So I can send you a video to explain that more, but that's just an interesting observation. And it could also explain knee pain if you ever have that, or if you don't have it, it will most likely come in the future. All right. So I know your back was feeling tight this night, so you possibly might have more range of motion than you did in this video, but I mean, you have a really beautiful forward fold. For sure, there could be, maybe 3 to 5 more inches of like palms comfortably resting on the floor, which would come with your tailbone, your hips being able to go up further. So just increasing length here is going to just make it pull down here even more. So if you can't touch all the way comfortably, that's just telling us that there's a little bit of shortness right here, and that's easy to fix. It's easy to, what's the word? Overcome, I guess. I don't know what the word is. I'm trying to think, but yeah. And I'm noticing too that slight collapse right here, in your ankles. So just a little bit of collapse going on there, but really beautiful forward fold. And the walking is a little challenging because of this Zoom call. We only get like 2 steps, so let's speed it up to here. All right, so here we have all right, stepping. All right, one thing I'm noticing, especially with your right foot, which is this one right here coming up, it likes to kick out. It likes to go that way. Let's see if I can. Yeah, it likes to go there. Sorry, I'm trying to get to that one spot that's a little clearer. All right, so let's go from this direction. So your right foot is going that way. And because of that, there's collapse going on here. And what's happening when we put all of our pressure on the inside here instead of the outside? Like ideally, we want all the pressure on that cuboid bone and the outer calf and our glutes. And it's actually going to cause, it can definitely cause back pain, but it's going to also cause knee pain and stuff. So on this one, your foot is pointing straight, which is exactly what we want to see. That's fantastic. But notice how your back right foot, as it's coming through, your heel is here and your foot is pointing this way. We actually want the opposite. We want to have, just like when you sit in that seiza position with your heels here and your toes here, like when we were kneeling and you have your heels here and your feet are pointing in. That's a terrible picture, wow. We want to do that for our walking as well. And I'm going to show you, because when we do that, right there, see how because your heel is away, your landing is going to be on the inside of your foot instead of the outside of our foot, which is what we really want to have. So let me show you on this side. So your heel is in and it's priming, boop, and then it will collapse in. So it's, like I said, it's very hard to see on this blurry. It might be better to do a separate video just on your walk and run when it's a clearer picture. So I'm actually gonna not do any more on this video because I do want it to be a little bit more clear. But this is really helpful, and slow motion video is just so helpful to see our patterns because we don't feel them. And then when we see them in slow motion, it just explains a lot. So like right here, that's a little bit better of a view. Even though it's blurry, your foot is pointing that way. And the opposite we want to be true. We want it to be loading out so that once it lands, it's in this bow shape right here. So right here, we want it to be like bowing out here, ready to, like everything pointing this way, but I'm seeing that your left leg is actually pointing that way. So there's a little bit of disorganization, and that's going to also cause some tweaking all the way up your body, with your ankles, your knees, and your back, and your hips too. There might be pinching there. So really interesting. Send me a video with your phone if you think of it, and that will really help us see a clearer picture of this. But awesome. Thank you for doing this with me, and I hope this was helpful.